My name's John Brown, and Christians, whores. Alright, so I should probably qualify that statement just a little bit. And to do that, we're going to go to Hosea. It's in the Old Testament, near the end, and it's sandwiched between Daniel and Joel. And what happens is it starts off this way. It starts off with God coming to an Israelite man named Hosea. And he tells him, he says, look, Hosea, go find a woman of whoredom, a specific woman of whoredom. Woman of whoredom. It's a quote. And so what he does is he goes to this woman of whoredom, and God tells him that with this woman of whoredom, God's going to show Israel what it's like to be married to Israel. He's going to show his relation with Israel through Hosea's relation with his whore wife. You see, Israel had forsaken God again and had begun to worship false gods and false idols. And this is what the Bible equates with Hosea's wife's whoredom. So as we get on in the book, Hosea's wife pushes out 3 kids. Kind of a gross way to say that, I guess. And God gives Hosea names for all 3 of them. The first child is a boy, and his name is Jezreel. And Jezreel means God will sow. Also, the only child that we know for a fact is Hosea's child. The second child is a daughter named Lo-Ruhamah. Leave my pronunciation alone, please. I'm trying. That means no mercy. And the third child is a son, and his name is Lo-Hami. And his name means not my people. Don't forget these names. All 3 of these names are very, very significant. Although kind of a mean thing to name your kids if you think about it. Or don't think about it. So as we start off chapter 2, we see that Hosea's wife, a wife of whoredom, is doing what whores do. You know, stuff. And the first half of chapter 2 details in excruciating detail what Hosea should do about it, or rather what God is going to do about Israel's whoredom. And this includes things like taking back food, wine, and even completely removing her lovers out of the picture. Now, while the first half of the chapter is about God's wrath and how God is just in what he's doing and how Israel is going to deserve this punishment, and us too, by the way, the second half is really what I want to focus on. So let me just read it to you, and you can read along with me. In verse 14 it starts out, "Therefore, behold, I will lure her and bring her into the wilderness and speak tenderly to her. And there I will give her her vineyards and make the valley of Achor a door of hope. And there she shall answer as in the days of her youth, as at the time when she came out of the lands of Egypt. And in that day, declares the Lord, you will call me my husband, and no longer will you call me my Baal. For I will remove the names of the Baals from her mouth, and they shall be remembered by name no more. And I will make for them a covenant on that day with the beasts of the field, the birds of the heavens, and the creeping things of the ground. And I will abolish the bow, the sword, and war from the land, and I will make you lie down in safety. And I will betroth you to me forever. I will betroth you to me in righteousness and in justice, in steadfast love and in mercy. I will betroth you to me in faithfulness, and you shall know the Lord. And in that day I will answer, declares the Lord. I will answer the heavens, and they shall answer the earth. And the earth shall answer the grain, the wine, and the oil, and they shall answer Jezreel. And I will sow for myself in the land, and I will have mercy on no mercy. And I will say to not my people, you are my people. And he shall say, you are my God." You see, God doesn't just leave it at wrath and at what you deserve. God doesn't shy away from what you deserve. He doesn't pretend like you're perfect, like you haven't done wrong, like you haven't strayed away from what his plans are for you, or that you haven't hurt other people, or that you haven't wronged other people. I mean, you and I both know that when we go to sleep at night, there are times where we know there's something wrong with us. We know that there's imperfection in here. And I think that it's more than just self-consciousness. It's more than just having a crisis of self-esteem. But see, what God does is he recognizes that there's something wrong with us. He recognizes that we're people of whoredom, and that we have problems, and that we have imperfections. But he doesn't leave it at that. He says, I will allure you. He says, despite what you are and what you do, I will allure you, and I'll speak tenderly to you. I'll take care of you. I'll change you. I love that. It's fantastic. And really, that's what it's all about. When Jesus came down and sacrificed himself for you and for me, it wasn't about our effort. It wasn't about how we could do good things. It was about how we couldn't do good things. It was about how we are people of whoredom, how we were and how at times we still are, but that despite our whoring, he still remains true and faithful and has mercy for us in that. And so if you're a Christian, amazing, awesome. You should be shouting for joy right now. If you're not, and you felt some kind of stirring on your inside, you felt something kind of nod with this, something kind of say, wow, that's awesome. I'd like to have something like that. Then I believe that that's God's Spirit luring you in, just like Hosea lured Gomer, his wife, in. And I'm not here to give you some kind of 3-second prayer where you'll be safe, where you won't have any problems, where Jesus will just take care of everything. What I'm here to do is I'm here to encourage you to ask him to reveal himself to you. And I believe that he will. And after you've done that, find a church. We rag on church all the time, but church is important. Find other people who are searching out Jesus, and you walk together, and you keep each other accountable, and you build friendships that last for eternity. Just make sure this church reads the Bible, preaches the Bible, and that it's a place where you can be open and honest about where you are, who you are, what your problems are, where you struggle. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, like it, maybe give it a little bit of favoriting, subscribe, and leave some dope comments down here so I can shuffle through them and entertain myself at late nights, or early mornings, or in class. Just the truth. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. I look forward to being seen by you again in a later video. See you later.